Hello viewers, I am Tarang Kumar Bundwal, Assistant Professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. The following video is prepared as per the syllabus and course outline of Maharshi Dayanand University. However, are mostly general topics which cover the working and theoretical aspects of civil engineering. For better understanding and conceptualizing clearly, please do not skip the video and watch till end. We will be discussing about related important questions, feasibility and applications. Let's start the video.
Hello students, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. In today's session, we'll continue with the subject design of concrete structures first. And within this subject, we'll continue with the topic foundations. And the topic of discussion today would be pile foundation. So we'll start the topic now. As you can see, when the soil is too weak to support the structure on a shallow foundation, piles are used to transmit surface loads to lower levels in the soil mass. तो जब soil strata weak होता है या rock बहुत ज़्यादा fractured होता है जिससे कि load transmission successfully नहीं हो पाता, तो उस केस में deep foundation दी जाती है. Pile foundation उसका एक type है. If the load is transferred through soil or water to a suitable bearing stratum by means of end bearing of piles, it is known as end bearing or point bearing piles. तो जब पाइल अपने एंड से वेट सपोर्ट करती है, वेट ट्रांसफर करती है, तो उस केस में एंड बेयरिंग पाइल कहलाती है. एंड इफ द लोड इज ट्रांसफर्ड टू अ डेप्थ of the relatively weak soil by means of skin friction along the length of the pile, it is known as friction piles. और जब स्किन के थ्रू एनर्जी डिसिपेट करती है फ्रिक्शंस के थ्रू, तो उस केस में उसको फ्रिक्शन पाइल बोला जाता है. Both the end bearing and frictional piles resist vertical loads. However, normally all piles function as a combination of skin friction and point bearing, except when the pile penetrates an extremely soft soil to a solid base. तो ज्यादातर सारी piles end bearing और friction, skin friction दोनों से resist करती हैं external loads को, पर जब तक solid base नहीं होता तब तक ऐसा दोनों चीज को कर पाना मुश्किल हो जाता है. इसलिए solid bases भी जरूरी है end bearing बनाने के लिए. Piles are also used to resist horizontal loads as in foundation for retaining walls and bridge abutments. These are called laterally loaded piles. अब bridge abutments में या फिर retaining walls में अगर piles दी जाती हैं तो उनको horizontal loads भी resist करने पड़ते हैं, तो उनको laterally loaded piles कहा जाता है. In case of large lateral loads or inclined forces, piles driven at an angle resist forces more effectively. तो एक पर्टिकुलर एंगल पे दी हुई जो पाइल्स हैं वो भी लेटरल लोड्स को अच्छे से रेजिस्ट कर पाते हैं, एंड दीज आर कॉल्ड बैटर पाइल्स. समटाइम्स पाइल्स आर यूज्ड टू रेजिस्ट अपवर्ड फोर्सेस. दीज पाइल्स आर सब्जेक्टेड टू टेंशन एंड आर नोन एज टेंशन पाइल्स. Piles are also used for compacting loose granular deposited. These piles are short and are known as compaction piles. तो ये एंड बेयरिंग पाइल्स हैं जो एंड से सपोर्ट करती हैं. दीज आर फ्रिक्शन पाइल्स जो अपनी स्किन फ्रिक्शन के थ्रू वेट बेयर करती हैं. इसके अलावा ये लेटरल लोड्स को सपोर्ट करने के लिए ये वर्टिकल पाइल है, और अगर कोई हॉरिजॉन्टल लोड होगा उसको सपोर्ट करने के लिए ये बैटर पाइल्स दी हुई हैं. इसके अलावा ये टेंशन पाइल्स, ये कंप्रेशन पाइल्स भी यहाँ पे प्रोवाइड की जा सकती हैं अगर कोई भी लिफ्टिंग का सिचुएशन बन रही होगी. और एंड दीज आर कॉम्पैक्शन पाइल्स, अगर यहाँ पे आसपास की जो सॉइल स्ट्रेटा है वो लूज है तो इसको बीच में इंसर्ट करा देंगे तो वो क्लोजली पैक्ड हो जाएगा. So these are the types of pile foundation. Then there are precast concrete piles. These are usually of uniform sections with pointed tips as shown in the figure. They are circular, square or octagonal in cross section. तो यहाँ पे इनका जो dimension होता है वो usually same होता है और एंड से पॉइंटेड होते हैं जहां से इसको अंदर ड्राइव इन किया जाता है. तो दिस इज अ स्क्वायर सेक्शन कंक्रीट प्रीकास्ट पाइल. देन दिस इज ऑक्टागोनल सेक्शनल कंक्रीट प्रीकास्ट पाइल्स. देन देयर आर कास्ट इन सिटू और कास्ट इन प्लेस पाइल्स. These are made by making a hole in the ground and filling it with concrete. They are classified as cased and uncased piles. In cased piles, a thin metal shell or casing is first driven in the ground, which is then filled with concrete In uncased metal pile, a metal casing is driven in the ground, which is gradually withdrawn as the concreting is done. तो कास्ट इन सिटू पाइल्स में पहले ग्राउंड में होल कर दिया जाता है और उसमें कंक्रीट भरा जाता है. तो उसमें केस्ड और अनकेस्ड दो तरह की पाइल्स होती हैं. केस्ड पाइल में एक मेटल शेल डाला जाता है पहले और उसके बाद उसमें कंक्रीटिंग की जाती है, और अनकेस्ड में मेटल केसिंग को ग्राउंड में डालने के बाद विड्रॉ कर लिया जाता है. There are several techniques of installation of cased and uncased piles. Among these, under ream piles are most commonly used where excessive shrinkage and swelling of clay rules out the use of shallow spread footing. The usual side of under ream pile is 150 to 250 mm diameter and 3000 to 4000 mm length. The diameter of under ream portion is 2 to 3 times the dia of shaft and as shown in the figure below. So, ज्यादातर अंडर रीम पाइल्स यूज की जाती है और अंडर रीम पोर्शन का डाया 2 से 3 गुना होता है शाफ्ट के डाया के. देन पाइल कैपेसिटी. Pile capacity depends on ability of soil surrounding the pile to support loads from the pile. It can be determined by static and dynamic methods and by the load test, and these are described as follows. So these are under ream piles as we discussed. ये under ream portion है, जो bulb create किया हुआ है. This is the bucket length, as you can see. This one. Then first is static method. The ultimate bearing capacity QU of a pile in homogeneous soil may be expressed as the sum of point resistance QP and skin resistance QS. The total ultimate bearing capacity QU is given by QP plus QS, and which in turn can be written as AP multiplied by QP multiplied by summation of AS into FS, where AP is area of pile point, QP is unit bearing capacity, and it is given by CNC, and you can represent it by any notations. You can say SC plus gamma DNQ SQ, and C is unit cohesion, NC and NQ are bearing capacity factors, SC and SQ are shape factors, gamma is unit weight of soil, D is depth of foundation, AS is effective pile surface area on which FS acts, and computed as perimeter x incremental embedment length to allow for variations in pile shaft and stratification of soil, and FS is unit skin friction. So the allowable pile capacity is obtained by this QA, allowable pile capacity, QP upon FP plus QS upon FS. FP and FS are factor of safety which vary in the range from 2.5 to 4 or more depending on their uncertainties. Next is dynamic method. The dynamic pile formula used to determine the ultimate pile capacity are based on the principle that energy applied to the pile is utilized in useful work done in driving the pile and in losses. And a basic dynamic formula for pile capacity is given as follows. QU is equals to En WRH upon S plus K1 K2 K1 plus K2 plus K3, and K1 plus K2 plus K3 are divided by 2 multiplied by WR plus H square WP upon WR plus WP, where En is hammer efficiency, H is height of fall of ram, K1 is elastic compression of cap block and pile cap, K2 is elastic compression of pile, K3 is elastic compression of soil. N is coefficient of restitution, S is amount of point penetration per block, W is weight of pile including weight of pile cap, driving shoe and cap block, WR is weight of ram. Most of the dynamic pile formula have been derived from the above formula by using various assumptions. The most commonly used formula for drop and steam hammers are as follows. For drop hammer, QU is given by WRH upon S plus 1, and for steam hammers, it is given by WRH upon S plus 0.1. Then third is load test. The most reliable method to determine load capacity of pile is load test. So this is सबसे ज़्यादा effective तरीका है. This consists of driving the pile to the design depth and applying incremental loads on it. The settlement of piles is measured at each increment of load. तो एक पाइल को पर्टिकुलर ड्राइव किया जाता है और उसके ऊपर लोड अप्लाई किया जाता है और उसको वेरी कराया जाता है, धीरे धीरे उसको इंक्रीज किया जाता है और फिर हर इंक्रीमेंट पे उसका सेटलमेंट चेक किया जाता है. The ultimate capacity of piles determined from the load settlement curve, where the load settlement curve approaches a vertical asymptote or load corresponding to some specified settlement of generally 25 mm2 or according to the Codal provision. Next is pile group. अब जब piles group में action करते हैं, that is pile group. Generally, more than 2 piles are provided in a foundation because of alignment problem and in adverse eccentricities. तो inadvertent eccentricities और alignment problems को counteract करने के लिए usually minimum 2 piles provide की जाती हैं. The provision of several piles in a group lead to overlapping of soil pressure envelopes developed in the soil for resisting the pile load, and as shown in the figure below, this may cause failure of soil in shear or excessive settlement of pile group. To avoid this, spacing of piles could be increased. However, large spacing are impractical because the pile cap is constructed over a group of piles for column base and transmit applied loads to all piles. तो जब हम ग्रुप में पाइल्स को किसी भी फैक्टर में या तो कास्ट इन सिटू या फिर प्री कास्ट किसी भी तरीके से हम ड्राइव करते हैं तो ओवरलैपिंग ऑफ सॉइल प्रेशर क्रिएट हो जाता है. तो इसी वजह से इसको बचाने के लिए, ताकि ये ना हो, हमें पाइल्स को एक एप्रोप्रिएट डिस्टेंस पे स्पेस करना चाहिए. पर हम स्पेस बहुत ज्यादा नहीं कर सकते, डिस्टेंस बहुत ज्यादा भी नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि अगर बहुत ज्यादा डिस्टेंस देंगे तो हमें उसके ऊपर पाइल कैप भी कंस्ट्रक्ट करनी है, जो कि कंस्ट्रक्ट करनी मुश्किल हो जाएगी. The efficiency of the group of friction piles is defined as the ratio of actual group capacity to the sum of individual pile capacities depending on the spacing of piles, and it is determined as follows. तो ये उसका ये स्ट्रेस प्रोफाइल है सॉइल की. तो अगर एक पाइल है तो इस तरीके से एक्ट करता है. 2 पाइल है तो जैसे अगर ये 4 पाइल ग्रुप है तो ये सब पाइल्स है, सिंगल पाइल्स, और इन सब की जो स्ट्रेस प्रोफाइल है, स्ट्रेस सराउंडिंग अ फ्रिक्शन पाइल एंड ग्रुप ऑफ 4 पाइल्स. Consider pile group consisting of n rows and m columns of piles at spacing s as shown in this figure. The number of piles is m into n and perimeter of group is obtained as this formula. तो अगर ऐसे बोल दिया जाए कि m piles है, इसमें m number of columns और m number of columns here, यहाँ पे m piles है, यहाँ पे तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ पाइल्स हो जाएंगे mn, और इन सब का जो पेरीमीटर है इट इज गिवन बाय दिस फॉर्मूला. P is equals to 2 multiplied by m minus 1s plus n minus 1s plus 4d, and it becomes 2 into m plus n minus 2 into s plus 4d. तो ये पूरा इसका पेरीमीटर मिल जाएगा कि कितने ग्रुप कितने पेरीमीटर पे पाइल ग्रुप एक्ट कर रहा है. Then the group efficiency as the ratio of skin resistance on the group perimeter to the skin resistance of the individual pile is determined by this formula. So group efficiency रेशियो के टर्म्स में स्किन रेजिस्टेंस या फिर ग्रुप पेरीमीटर पे स्किन रेजिस्टेंस से इंडिविजुअल पाइल का, वो इस फॉर्मूला से डिटरमाइन किया जाता है. Eg is given by P into Fs into Lf upon pi Bmn Fs Lf, and it is given by, if we substitute the value of P perimeter, then we get 2 m plus n minus 2 s plus 4d upon m n pi d, where Fs is unit strain friction and Lf is embedment length of pile. Some typical patterns of pile group for isolated footing and foundation walls are shown in figure below. The minimum allowable spacing of piles as stipulated in the code is given in table. तो ये कुछ typical pile patterns हैं, इस तरह की piles दी जाती हैं अगर हमें आइसोलेटेड फुटिंग या किसी भी फाउंडेशन वॉल को सपोर्ट करना है. तो ये 3 पाइल्स हैं, ये डिस्टेंस इस तरीके से यहाँ पे मेजर किया जाएगा, ये भी एस, ये भी एस, देन दिस इज अगेन एस. ये 4 पाइल्स का ग्रुप है, यहाँ पे 5 पाइल्स देनी पड़ी है, तो इस तरीके से देख सकते हैं. तो जितने रिक्वायरमेंट है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली हम नंबर ऑफ फाइल्स प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं. अब so this is 10 files, 11 files. There is a single row of files for wall, double row of file for a tech wall. For 100% group efficiency, the spacing of file can be determined as follows. अगर group efficiency हमें 100% देनी है, तो spacing of file निकालने के लिए ये formula use कर सकते हैं. So क्योंकि हमें efficiency 100% देनी है, that means we'll put the value 100 as here. So it will be 2 multiplied by m plus n minus 2 into s plus 4d upon mn by d multiplied by 100. So s is given by this formula 1.57 dmn minus 2d upon m plus n minus 2. So this typical table shows the minimum spacing of piles as per the Codal provision. So if we are providing friction piles, then 3D, where d is the diameter of circumscribing circle for non-circular section, 900 mm, whichever is more. तो 3D जो भी डायमीटर है सर्कमस्क्राइबिंग सर्कल का, या फिर 900 mm, जो जिसकी भी वैल्यू ज्यादा होगी उतना हम स्पेस रखेंगे सेंटर टू सेंटर. इन केस ऑफ एंड बेयरिंग पाइल्स पासिंग थ्रू रिलेटिवली कंप्रेसिबल स्ट्रेटा, या तो 2.5D वैल्यू होगी या 750 mm होगी, जो इसकी भी ज्यादा वैल्यू होगी. एंड बेयरिंग पाइल्स passing through compressible strata and resting in stiff clay, then 3.5D or 1050 mm, whichever is more. In case of end bearing piles on rock, then it is given by this formula: load value of pile groups upon allowable bearing capacity of soil, and it is under root or 2D or 1.75 multiplied by diagonal dimension of pile of non-circular section और 600 mm. तो इन चार वैल्यूज में से जो भी ज्यादा है वो कंसीडर करेंगे. एंड इन केस ऑफ कॉम्पैक्शन पाइल्स द वैल्यू इज 2D और 600 mm, whichever is more. Now coming to pile cap. Pile cap is provided over a group of piles to distribute the load from the superstructure to piles in the group. तो सारी पाइल के ऊपर एक कैप होती है जो कि ओवरऑल सारा लोड इवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करती हैं सारी पाइल्स के ऊपर. These caps act as rigid footing which are subjected to concentrated reaction from the piles and load from the superstructure and weight of the soil above the cap if it is below the ground level and the weight of the cap. तो पाइल जो ऊपर सुपरस्ट्रक्चर से लोड आ रहा है वो सॉइल का लोड, पाइल कैप का लोड, और पाइल अगर जमीन के नीचे है तो उसके ऊपर जो सॉइल सरचार्ज है उसका लोड, सबको यही रजिस्ट करती है पाइल कैप्स, और जो कि पाइल्स के ऊपर होती हैं. द रिएक्शन फ्रॉम द पाइल्स अंडर द कॉन्सेंट्रिक एक्सियल लोड ऑन द कैप इज अज्यूम्ड इक्वल एंड इज डिटरमिन्ड बाय Pp is equals to Q upon N. So where Q is concentric axial load on the cap and N is number of piles. When the pile cap is eccentrically loaded or subjected to loads and moments, then the reactions from the piles are determined as Pp is equals to Q upon N plus minus Myx upon summation of x square plus minus Mxy upon summation of y square, where mx and my are moments with respect to x and y axis, and x and y are distances from y and x axis to the piles. The structural design of a pile cap is similar to the design of spread footing, क्योंकि इसके ऊपर भी कॉलम या abutment support होता है. The loads acting on the pile cap from the superstructure and piles are resisted by the development of bending moment and shear force in the pile cap. तो जो भी वेट को रेजिस्ट करती है पाइल कैप वो बेंडिंग मोमेंट और shear force जो भी उसके अंदर डेवलप होते हैं उससे करती हैं. The critical sections for bending moment, one way and two way shears and bond for pile cap supporting a column are shown in the figure below. The critical sections for bond are same as that for moment. तो ये अगर पाइल्स हैं तो ये इसके ऊपर रेस्ट करने वाली पाइल कैप है, और इस पे ये आप देख पा रहे हैं कि मोमेंट्स जनरेट हो रहे हैं. एक्स डायरेक्शन में, वाई डायरेक्शन में। ये पाइल कैप है, ये इसके नीचे पाइल्स हैं, और ये यहाँ पे मोमेंट जनरेट हो रहे हैं, यहाँ से लोड एक्ट कर रहा है। तो ये रिएक्शन में पाइल लोड क्रिएट होगा Q की वजह से। दीज आर रिएक्शन लोड्स acted by pile due to Q, and this value will be Q upon N, because for individual pile it will be divided by N value, and pile load due to Mx. This is load acting due to moment. Now this is for the value My again. It should be Mx actually. So this is pile load due to Q, which is same value, and this is pile load due to moment in X direction. The size of the pile cap is fixed such that it has clear overhang beyond the outermost pile, not less than 100 mm, but preferably 150 mm. तो जो पाइल कैप्स हैं, इसको इस तरीके से फिक्स किया जाता है कि जो लास्ट पाइल है उससे ओवरहैंग एटलीस्ट 100 mm का हो, पर इसको प्रेफरेबली 150 mm रखा जाता है. It should be deep enough to allow the necessary overlap of reinforcements from columns and piles. तो ताकि कॉलम्स और पाइल्स में नेसेसरी ओवरलैप हो सके, इतना उसको डीप रखना जरूरी है. The clear cover for the main reinforcement should not be less than 40 mm. The span to thickness ratio of the cap should not be more than 5, so that the pile cap is rigid enough to distribute the load uniformly to the piles. तो span thickness ratio cap का भी 5 से ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. Generally, it is thick. Its thickness should not less than be 500 mm, which may be reduced to 300 mm at the free edges. तो 500 mm से कम नहीं होनी चाहिए पाइल कैप की थिकनेस, और एजेस पे 300 mm कर सकते हैं. The piles should project at least 50 mm into the pile cap. A leveling course of not less than 75 mm thick concrete should be provided under the pile cap. तो जो पाइल कैप्स हैं एटलीस्ट 50 mm होनी चाहिए पाइल कैप में, और इसके अलावा पाइल्स मतलब जो नीचे से पाइल्स आ रही हैं उसका जो रीइंफोर्समेंट है उसकी पाइल कैप में एटलीस्ट 50 mm एम्बेडमेंट होनी चाहिए. इसके अलावा जो लेवलिंग कोर्स है पाइल कैप के जस्ट नीचे उसकी थिकनेस हमें 75 mm देनी चाहिए. So as you can see, this is pile, this is the column acting on pile, this is the column on this pile cap, and here it is acting as critical closed rectangle for two-way shear. यहाँ पे two-way shear generate हो रहा है, and in this way it is critical section for one-way shear. यहाँ से ऐसे create हो गए one-way shear और इधर two-way shear. These are critical section for moment, shear and bond and pile cap. So we'll move to a numerical now, and the question goes like this. Design a pile cap for supporting a column of section 400 mm by 400 mm carrying an axial load of 1000 kN at service state. The pile cap consists of a group of 4 friction piles, each of 250 mm dia, for transfer of load from column to soil. Consider concrete of grade M20 and steel of grade Fe415. तो पाइल कैप डिजाइन करनी है जो कि एक कॉलम जिसका डायमेंशन है 400 by 400 mm उसको सपोर्ट करना है, जो कि एक एक्सियल लोड कैरी कर रहा है 1000 kN का सर्विस स्टेट पे. इसके अलावा पाइल कैप 4 फ्रिक्शन पाइल्स के ऊपर रेस्ट करेगी, जिन पाइल्स का इंडिविजुअल डाया 250 mm है, और वो यूज होंगी कॉलम टू सॉइल लोड ट्रांसफर के लिए. कंक्रीट का ग्रेड M20, स्टील का ग्रेड Fe415. सो फर्स्ट इज determination of pile cap dimension. So we'll consider concrete piles caps as shown in the figure below. This one and its dimension can be determined by this formula. L is equals to B and it is given by S plus T plus 2 multiplied by assumed overhang of 150 mm. This is given discuss here. And where S is the spacing of piles and it can be fixed such that the group efficiency is 100%. Then ये आप देख पा रहे हैं यहाँ पे, अगर हम इसका डायमेंशन निकालना है तो ये इसकी जितनी भी स्पेसिंग है वो हमें स्पेसिंग ऐड करनी होगी. इसके अलावा जो पाइल का डायामीटर है वो और दोनों साइड से जो ओवरहैंग है. सो द स्पेसिंग प्लस डाया प्लस ओवरहैंग. सो इट इज गिवन बाय दिस फॉर्मूला. अगर हमें ग्रुप एफिशिएंसी 100% रखनी है तो 100% को यूज करके हम स्पेसिंग यहाँ से जनरेट कर सकते हैं. सो इट इज गिवन बाय द फॉर्मूला व्हिच वी हैव डिस्कस्ड previously. So 100 is equals to 2 multiplied by m plus n minus 2 multiplied by s plus 4d upon pi d mn multiplied by 100. So and s comes out to be pi d mn plus 4d upon 2 m plus n minus 2 and it should not be less than s minimum, where s minimum is 3d or 900 mm whichever is more. तो s की वैल्यू या तो 3d या 900 mm जो भी ज्यादा आएगी. So according to 3d it becomes 3 into 250 or 900, so it comes out to be 900. So using this formula, we get the value of S as pi, D is 250 multiplied by Mn, which is 2 by 2 because there are 4 piles, plus 4 multiplied by D upon 2 into M, which is 2 plus 2 minus 2. It should not be less than 900. So the value comes out to be less than 900, so we'll consider 900 mm only. It means L is equal to B and which is given by, if we put these values here again in this formula, so we get the value of L and B as 1450 mm. तो अब हमें लेंथ और ब्रेड्थ दोनों डायमेंशन मिल गए पाइल कैप के. नेक्स्ट इज डेप्थ ऑफ पाइल कैप. द डेप्थ ऑफ पाइल कैप may be governed either by the moment or by the shear and it can be determined as follows. तो अब इस केस में हम दोबारा सेम फॉर्मूला यूज करेंगे जैसा कि हमने डिस्कस किया जो हम पीछे यूज करते आ रहे थे. तो या तो ये शेयर गवर्न करेगा या मोमेंट गवर्न करेगा. नाउ वी विल फाइंड डेप्थ ऑफ कैपेसिटी, डेप्थ ऑफ पाइल कैप बेस्ड ऑन मोमेंट. तो पाइल कैप की कैपेसिटी मोमेंट से बेसिस पे हम लोग कंसिडर करेंगे, इसको फाइंड आउट करेंगे. द इफेक्टिव डेप्थ ऑफ पाइल कैप may be determined by considering singly reinforced balance section as follows. And it is given by this formula, BD square equals to mu max upon 0.36 FCK XUL upon D minus 0.416 XUL upon D, where mu max is maximum moment at the face of column about x and y axis, and it is given by 2 PUP multiplied by S minus L divided by 2, where PUP is ultimate reaction from each pile on the pile cap, considering that pile group is symmetrical and applied load is concentric to the pile group. And it is given by this formula, load factor multiplied by column load P plus assumed self weight of 0.1 times P of pile cap divided by number of piles. ये भी same formula है जो हम पीछे यूज करते आ रहे थे. And load factor is 1.5, column load is given as 1000 kilonewton. Then it is assumed self weight would be 0.1 times of P, so 0.1 times of 1000 and divided by number of piles because we have to calculate for each pile, so it will be divided by 4, so it comes out to be 412.5 kilonewton. So this is the value of PUP, that is ultimate reaction from each pile, and mu max will be given by this 2. So we'll put these values in here in this formula, 2 PUP multiplied by S minus L upon 2, so it becomes 2 PUP we just found out to be 412.5 kilonewton. So multiplied by S is 0.9 minus 0.4 upon 2. So it comes out to be 206.25 kilonewton meter. Now we'll find the value of XUL upon D from IS code. So its value is 0.479 if the grade of steel is Fe415. Therefore, if we put all these values in this equation now to find the depth of pile, we'll get it as 1450 D square is equal to 206.25 multiplied by 10 to the power 6, which is mu max, upon 0.36. FCK is 20. XUL upon D is 0.479 multiplied by 1 minus 0.416, and XUL upon D is again 0.479. So the D value, depth of pile value, comes out to be 226.95 mm. So it is the depth of pile based on moments. Now we'll find the depth of pile based on shear. The effective depth of pile cap may be determined by considering that the shear is resisted without shear reinforcement as follows. तो इसके ये सेम प्रोसीजर फॉलो करेंगे जैसे भी हमने डिस्कस किया था कि जो शेयर है वो रेजिस्ट हो रही है बिना शेयर रिइंफोर्समेंट के, तो उसको हम इस तरीके से डिजाइन करते हैं. एंड इट इज गिवन बाय द फार्मूला Vu max is equals to tau UC BD. And if we transpose the values, we get D is equals to Vu max upon tau UC B. And where Vu max may be maximum ultimate one way or two way shear. So ये केस में भी Vu max one way shear या two way shear दोनों हो सकता है, जो भी मैक्सिमम होगा. For one way shear, Vu max is given by this formula to PUP. So it is the maximum ultimate shear at critical section at a distance of effective depth of pile cap from the face of column. So it will be 2 multiplied by 412.5. It becomes 825 kilonewton. And here tau UC is K, which may be taken as 1 for assumed total depth greater than or equal to 300 mm from table 11, or which is multiplied by shear strength of concrete, which may be taken as its minimum value of 0.36 Newton per mm square, on consideration that flexural reinforcement shall be small due to large depth of pile cap based on shear consideration. So its value is taken as 0.36 Newton per mm square. So B is 1450 mm and D becomes 825 multiplied by 1000 divided by 0.36 multiplied by 1450. So this is the value that we'll use here and find the value of D from it. So it comes out to be 1580.46 mm. This was for one way shear. Now we'll check the value of depth for two way shear. It is again Vu max is maximum ultimate punching shear based on punching of column or pile on critical section at a distance of half the effective depth of pile cap from the face of column or pile respectively, and it is given by 1.5 times of the load acting on the column, which is the external load. So its value becomes 1500 kilonewton, and it is based on punching of column, and 412.5 kilonewton it is based on punching of pile cap. So tau UC is given by 0.25 under root FCK, and it becomes 1.118 Newton per mm square. So B value in case of punching of column becomes 4 multiplied by 400 plus D, and it becomes 4 multiplied by 200 plus D for punching of pile. So we'll use this value in case of punching of column. So using this, we get the value of D. Using the value of D in this formula only, here in this formula. So we get it as 1500 multiplied by 1000 upon 0.118 into 4 into 400 plus D, and the value comes out to be 412.72 mm. And in case of D, the value comes out to be 412.5 multiplied by 1000 upon 0.118 into 4 into 250 plus D. It is based on punching of piles, so the value comes out to be 203.43 mm. Therefore, the effective depth of pile cap is governed by one way shear However, the effective depth of pile based on flexure and two-way shear is very small as compared to that based on one-way shear. Therefore, the design of pile cap can be considered effective depth based on flexure and two-way shear being economical is made as follows. तो क्योंकि जो इफेक्टिव डेप्थ है पाइल की वो वन वे शेयर से गवर्न हो रही है, पर जो इफेक्टिव डेप्थ है फ्लेक्सर और टू वे शेयर के लिए वो काफी स्मॉल है, काफी कम वैल्यू है वन वे शेयर से कंपेयर करें, तो इसलिए हम इफेक्टिव डेप्थ फ्लेक्सर और टू वे शेयर को कंसिडर करते हुए बनाएंगे ताकि हमें इकोनॉमी भी मिल सके. सो विल कंसिडर द वैल्यू ऑफ डी एस 412.72 mm, यानी कि ये वाली वैल्यू बेस्ड ऑन द पंचिंग ऑफ कॉलम्स. सो if effective depth is this, then the value of overall depth becomes 412.72 plus clear cover of 40 mm plus assumed die of 16 mm of reinforcement divided by 2. So it becomes 460.72 mm. On the safer side, we'll consider overall depth as 475 mm. So the value of small d becomes 475 minus 40 minus half of the reinforcement provided. So it becomes 427 mm. Next is design for moment. So area of steel for maximum ultimate moment determined above at the face of column about x and y axis are determined with the help of design aid as AST given by area of steel is given by this formula 1.1297.44 mm square, and it should not be less than AST minimum or should not be less than 0.85 BD upon Fy, and if we find the value of BD upon Fy multiplied by AST, we get it as 14163 mm square. So we'll take the value as 1416.63 mm square. We'll provide 10 number of 14 mm dia bars. So it gives actual AST as 1539 mm square. At the bottom of both directions, these bars are bent up to 90 degree and extended to provide adequate development length LD, and given by the formula 0.87 Fy phi upon 4 tau BD. So it becomes 0.87415 multiplied by 14 divided by 4 into 1.92, and it is almost equal to 660 mm. Nominal reinforcement for 12 mm die is provided at the top of in the both directions for holding shear reinforcement. So design for one way shear, we'll consider 8 mm dia 8 leg vertical shear stirrups, which gives area of steel as 400 mm square and given at spacing SV given by this formula. It is provided in the IS code as well. So SV is 0.87 Fy ASV upon tau UV minus tau UC into B, and it should not be greater than SV max. So this is how our reinforcement profile in the pile will look like. These are the pile caps, and these are 10 number 14 dia in both directions. This is the depth, which is taken as 475. This is 12 mm dia spaced at 150 mm center to center. These are binding bars, and these are 12 mm dia nominal bars in both directions, and these are the 8 leg stirrups. 8 mm dia, 8 numbers, 8 leg stirrups provided at 100 mm center to center spacing. And if we look at the plan view, this is how our reinforcement details will look like. These are 10 numbers, 14 mm dia placed at the bottom. This is 12 mm dia nominal bars at the top, and this is 12 mm dia nominal bars at the top. These are 12 dia 14 mm center to center spaced around projected piles. So where tau UV is given by VU max upon BD, and we'll put in the values. VU max is 825 into 1000 and BD is 1450 multiplied by 427. So tau UC is given by K into shear strength of concrete in beam. So it is given by value. So its value is 0.36 Newton per mm square. SV max is 2.5 AHV FB upon B, or 0.75 D, or 345 mm, whichever is less. So the lesser value of all these is 286.2 mm, So SV becomes 0.87 multiplied by Fi is 415 into 400 upon 1.3325 minus 0.33 multiplied by 1450, and it should not be greater than 286.2 mm. So the value comes out to be 102.42 mm. So we'll consider it as almost 100 mm. So we'll provide 8 mm dia, 8 leg vertical stirrups placed at 100 mm center to center spacing, and nominal binding bars of dia 12 mm spaced at 150 mm center to center. These are provided at round outer piles and as shown in the figure. ये वाला bar. So this was all with today's session. We'll meet in the next lecture now. Till then, have a great time. Thank you.
I hope you guys could understand and correlate the topics taught in today's session. If there is any query or subject matter issue, feel free to mail me at the given email ID. Live discussion sessions could also be used for discussion of doubts.